Xander, there is nothing in your teeth. You look like a champion. You look like you have the smile of a champion. You look like a winner. He is 30 years old. He's a bona fide star on the PGA Tour. After making the final group on Sunday 4 times this season, finally won his first major PGA Championship this Sunday, and it's his first win since 2022.
It was such a feel-good win for people who love golf and love Xander because he has been so close so many times, Dan. He's been in 28 majors, finished in the top 25, I think 21 times.
But right now he's struggling with something in his teeth, and I don't know what it is. What is happening? Why are you struggling so much with what's happening with your mouth right now?
An entire truffle.
I just had an everything bagel. There's something in there, you know. It's all good.
It's a dangerous bagel to have.
Those are tough.
It is. Those are tough.
Right before an interview.
A lot of seeds. There's a lot. Put it on the poll. Is the everything bagel tough right before an interview?
You going chive cream cheese plain? What are we doing here?
No, it was actually a little like breakfast bagel. So,
It's good though. I like.
It was nice. It was nice, but tough time though. Yeah, agent texted me. He's like, "You got to get on," and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Let me."
Well,
you're fine. Don't worry about it.
You're great.
But what is
I like the trophy casually being over your shoulder too.
So
nice
great,
touch.
yes.
What is the greatest of the bagels? Go ahead and make the perfect bagel for us.
Oh, everything bagel toasted. I kind of like a little bit more of a toast on it as well. I like a little bit of
double
crunch.
toasted,
Yeah, well done.
Double toast for sure. And then, just some cream cheese. I keep it simple, just like everything else.
Nothing else. You don't want lox. You don't want anything. Just cream cheese, a preferred schmear of any kind. Like, do you have a brand that you endorse?
No, not really.
All right. That concludes that particular cul-de-sac where the interview questions end there. I want to ask you, though, about the bad parenting in your life that involves you getting cigars at 10 years old. Like, that doesn't seem – that seems like something that everyone in your family should be against.
I have my dad's half French, half German. My mom's Taiwanese, grew up in Japan. We're pretty, we have a worldly background, so – I don't know where it started, but I was around cigar smoke for quite some time.
Well, I thought it was 10 years old, which sounds too early to me.
It is too early. Yes.
Smoking a cigar at 10. I was getting secondhand high, I guess.
So was I.
Well, that's smoking. I mean,
yeah. Okay. So when did you start smoking cigars, and what is your expertise in this area?
I'm a rookie. I mean, I'll smoke them with pretty much anyone, but usually celebratory is the region. Social to celebratory is how I'd categorize my smoking. And then, I think the first cigar I ever tried was probably when I was 12 or 13.
Oh,
it's not 10 at least. I mean.
Yeah, that's still pretty early.
It's a touch. It wasn't much.
Inhale.
What can you tell us is unusual about your upbringing when you have when you have so much different culture in your upbringing? What would you identify as some of the things most responsible for forming you?
Good question. I'd say it was an unorthodox approach to just about everything. The way we, it was very European, I guess, the way we'd have 3-hour dinners. When we'd have conflict, we would sit and talk about what happened. It wouldn't be like, go to your room, you're grounded. I've never been grounded in my entire life. So all these, it was a lot of conversation. We talked through a lot of the problems. My dad and my mom, they always wanted me to understand what was going on, why I was in trouble, if I was ever in trouble. I mean, it felt like I could do pretty much anything as a kid compared to a lot of my other friends. But I always think back to when I was a kid, I was like, why didn't I do more dumb stuff? If my parents didn't really mind. And so they obviously had some sort of hook in me there, knowing that I wasn't going to do anything too bad as a kid. But the international background just brought a lot of culture, a lot of food, and a lot of family into the whole thing.
When you mention cultural influences, which would you say was the greatest? What's the one that pushed you forward the most?
I mean, it's a mix. I mean, Asian culture is super family oriented. The Germans and the Japanese, historically have gotten along in the past. They instill a lot of discipline, a lot of perfection, a lot of work ethic. And and then the French kind of aspect. My dad's half French, and he tries to explain how they live their lives. They try to enjoy how they live. Savoir vivre, whatever it means. He would always say that as a kid for me growing up. Like it's just a way like to live your life a certain way and to enjoy everything. So you take your time when you eat dinner. You take your time when you're with your friends. You're never really in too much of a rush. So there's a lot of clash with the cultures, but I'm kind of just like a melting pot of a lot of it.
Where'd the discipline come from, though? Because it's such a lonely sport. It requires such perfectionism. So the discipline about being meticulous, where does that come from?
Yeah, definitely, the Asian in me, stereotypically, and the German for sure. Just the German drill sergeant from my dad's perspective was just hounding down on me, always just holding me accountable. We'd have conversations about what I'd like to do, how I want to go about my work. And it didn't take a whole lot once I, came out with what I was trying to do myself and I verbalized it. My dad would hold me to my words often, and it didn't take a lot for him to push me because I said it all and it's things that I wanted. So he just held me to a high standard.
Give me the most extreme example you can think of from your childhood of trying to meet the expectations around that kind of pushing.
He never really pushed. He when I sat down, I was just like any kid. I wanted to hang out with my friends. I wanted to, go to the mall after school. I wanted to do all those small things. But, my dad told me if you want to be great at anything, you have to put a ton of hours into it, and you're young, so you can get a nice head start. And so he's like, I will help you if you are committed, and I will love you if you're committed. I will still love you if you're not committed, but this is a choice you need to make right now. And it's a hard choice because you're a kid. And so I just remember there's times, where school would end and I would try to hitch a ride from my buddies because I was pretty young when I was like 13 when I got to high school. My parents were foreigners, but I was just trying to just trying to get myself to the golf course, and in the random days where I was tired after school, it was like, get out at 3 p.m. And, I'd be at home. My dad would come home from work. He'd be like, did you practice? And I would look at him, like every kid looks at their parent when they mess up. And he didn't really have to say anything else. And I just felt this like overwhelming guilt in my body because I told him that I was committed and I told him that I wanted this, and I was letting him down and I was letting myself down more than anything. So I don't know how he did it, but he played some nice mind games with me when I was a kid.
Xander, I've got no connection point to being a good golfer, let alone one that's barreling down on the precipice of winning a championship like you just did. Typically, people that cruise to a title, they have a charmed existence. And I don't know what your mindset is, but you had to play really good golf to win this one. You had some of the best golfers in the world on an absolute heater in form to win a title. Are you paying attention to what other people are doing on the course, knowing that you have to lock in that much more? Or are you just tuning it out and trying to play your game?
Well, I mean, both. There's these leaderboards that are like 30 by 30, they're massive. You just see them everywhere. So I look at it, I recognize it, I embrace it, and then I just have to lock in. I got to realize, why am I in this position? It's because I've been staying in my lane. It's because I've been doing all these things the way I do them. And so it's easy to get, lost in the sauce, like looking too far ahead. And you just look at the board, you accept it, you embrace it, and then you just get to work. You know exactly what you have to do to win a tournament. And hard part's doing it, obviously, but just locking in after every shot. It's like a weird 3 hours of your life because it's going really fast, but it's also so slow at the same time. It's strange. It's hard to explain.
Xander, we have video here of the second shot on 18. You have 2 feet in the sand. The ball's above your legs. I tell the guys, and I told them yesterday, that's one of the greatest shots in golf history that no one will ever talk about. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, it's nerve wracking. I mean, I've hit that shot. If you've played a sport enough and you're in their sport a ton, like golf, for example, I've hit it everywhere on a property you can possibly imagine. So I've had a shot like that before, and I wasn't too nervous about it. And like you said, everyone was playing incredible golf. Like I knew I had to make a birdie, and if you're trying to win, you have to go for it. So I knew chipping out, and trying to hit an iron up on that ridge wasn't going to get me a birdie. I knew punching it up there somewhere was going to give me the best chance and opportunity to win this golf tournament.
How many beers have been consumed out of that trophy behind you?
We started with some champagne. We're in Kentucky, so there was whiskey, like classically, some bourbon. And it was we had a nice go with it. We had a small crew there at the rental. When we get back to, I'm in Florida right now, but when we get back to San Diego, that's where Austin's from, and a lot of my, that's where I grew up. So I'm sure. And then my parents are on a whole nother level. They have their like crews they're going to go out with. So there's a good chance my parents actually drink more out of this than I do.
I have so many questions, but we have limited time with you. Who are some of the coolest people you've heard from over the last couple of days that you find moving?
Tiger's reached out. A lot of guys on tour have reached out. They've been super supportive. MJ texted me. I got to know him a little bit better at joining the Grove here in Florida. Steph Curry reached out. He's a Callaway staffer. So it's been it's been an awesome. It's cool to have other sporting figures to reach out to me.
Could have just said MJ. I mean,
yes, but he's got it's a good list. I want
a great list.
I want to kind of go through his texts here, but who hasn't reached out that should have?
My dad.
Who's the person? Come on.
I mean, I am. Yeah, my phone. I thought my phone was going to explode, so I'm still like, I'm constantly just trying to get back to. Everyone's been so supportive. I'm just trying to get back to everyone individually. I thought my phone was really going to overheat at some point.
What's your go-to response? Because you're getting so many. It's kind of like when you get birthday messages. Like, are you just saying thanks, bro? Like, what's your go-to response to all the congratulations you're getting?
I'm not a copy and paster. So, I mean, I'll read what they wrote and, I'll try to respond accordingly.
Little salute emoji.
Just
maybe?
the heart. You just heart it and move on.
No. Yeah. That's like a nice thing that, the iPhone did or Apple or iMessage, where you can just like heart everything. But I'll write a text. I'll address who they are just so it doesn't feel like, I'm just ripping through these things.
You hear from Scottie or his hands tied?
That's a good joke, Xander.
Oh man, no, yeah, Scottie and Meredith, they're awesome. Meredith reached out.
When that's going down, are you like, oh, this field just opened up?
Yeah, it's the number one golfer in the world.
He fired a 66 after he got out of prison.
He's my friend, but it gives me a certain advantage to have him in jail. Not
It does
prison.
break up the groove.
There's only a few ways to beat the guy. You know what I'm saying?
What is the best of the group chat? Because I've been told by sources that the group chat that you have changed the group chat to include Scheffler's mugshot.
That was not. There was someone else on our table that did that. It was the day after. We needle Scottie. He kicked it like a champ. So our little group chat for our physio table, it ended up being a mugshot of Scottie, and he took it great. He showed up the next day smiling at everybody.
But take us through you learning the news and where you were. Just take us through everything that happened there, where you realized my friend's in jail. This isn't terrible for me. They can wait. They can wait a while before they let him out.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a prank. I mean, I woke up. I can't remember what time, 7:45 or 8 o'clock or something. I trying to sleep in, and my wife has media on her phone. I don't have anything on my phone, so she like showed me. She's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It must be a prank or something." And then we turned the TV on, and he's just plastered all over ESPN. So I was like, "Oh, like." That's kind of interesting. And then, news started coming out, but he's I don't know if you guys know him at all or have ever talked to him. He's a concrete dude. He's solid. So like, I know him pretty well now, and I've competed against him, and there's no way he would ever do anything to harm anyone except a competitor or a golf ball. So.
All well and fine, but what was the funniest thing? What was no, he's not going to answer that.
You saw him get to the club, and you're like, what happened to due process?
I just want to know what the funniest stuff was with
that holding so quick.
The funniest stuff with Scottie being in prison?
Jail, not prison.
Yeah.
Jail,
not hard time yet. Still pending.
He was
like when he
stretching.
tees it up, are you saying to yourself, how do you get out so quick? I mean,
no, I mean, I think the funniest thing I was like, I don't know how people in Kentucky had like a screen printer, but they had like mugshot shirts like an hour and a half after he was released. And I was like, walking around property, you know what I mean? And like kids are wearing a free Scottie shirt. I'm like, people are incredible these days. I don't know how they do it.
Yes or no question. We will let the champion go on this one. Yes or no, you will at one point wear one of those T-shirts in front of him.
I would 100% wear it in front of me.
Okay, let's make sure he gets one, please. Xander, thank you for being on with us. We appreciate it, and congratulations.
Thanks, boys.
Stugatz, Paul Pierce is about to join us, and the last time that happened, Mike Ryan was boycotting and then yelling at him, and there was a brush off. Do you know toothbrush off, not a brush off by Paul Pierce? He was happy to do the toothbrush off.
Right, it's odd.
What is going to happen here? Are you expecting fireworks again with Where's Ruiz at? Because I'm surprised Mike is still here. He clearly hates the Celtics. He's boycotted multiple Celtics interviews.
I feel like I'm being set up because I'm typically work from home on Wednesday, and I got scheduled on this specifically because Paul Pierce was here. I want to be here for it. The only reason I zoomed into the other one was he was talking behind my back, and I got access to a Zoom link. I wasn't going to stand for that. I think Paul Pierce knows where I stand when it comes to Paul Pierce. I don't need to just rehash this. I've had enough cartoony Boston moments for one show, so I will see myself out.
All right. Well, we'll have Paul Pierce here, and hopefully he will ask for you.
You guys just drove me crazy with that Tatum thing. It was just confusing. He disappeared for 15
got
minutes,
it,
and
I
like
know.
someone has to be the dissenting voice in a sea of madness. Someone has to be rational.
I'm pretty sure that that's Bill Maher's whole thing on sanity needs a safe space. I believe that that's what Bill Maher is doing.
on him.
Stugatz, there are a number of things I want to get to with you. One of them is people body shaming Patrick Mahomes as he makes his way into the facility, as Anthony Richardson puts on good muscle weight, as Bryce Young puts on good muscle weight, and clearly Mahomes has been doing the two-time champion banquet tour.
If this is overweight, I don't know how to live.
That's bad shape. I mean,
This is not bad shape, okay?
Right.
This is a dad bod, and this is a bad shirt.
right.
It's a bad shirt. And
Terrible choice.
Not only
Yeah.
it's a terrible choice, but then he made the mistake. Look, if you got a dad gut the way that we do, number one thing that you got to do when you get out of the car, casual shirt tuck. Especially if you're leaning in, if you're about to bank into a turn, casual shirt tuck.
Right.
Especially when it's that athleisure wear.
That front corner,
sticks.
right?
Yeah, you gotta
Yes,
just
right.
it's a little
Windy
thing.
day.
Tiene una barriguita.
No, shut up.
Una
Un poquito.
barriguita. A little bit.
I do want to go back to the original shot, though, because I think Mike Ryan has swung and missed here, blaming the shirt. I think it's the shorts. Obviously, his lower body is very strong and muscular.
Well,
and,
it's the stomach, Dan. is
well,
what it
but
is.
no, but the shorts, look at the shorts when I show you how tight they are and snug around the thighs and how they are squeezing.
But those sides look good.
Yes,
Dan,
right.
again, as somebody
Good
that
choice.
wears this outfit often, even though I size up, you gotta size up in this spot.
Double
You-
X.
You wear the shorts because your legs are fine.
Right.
Your
Yes.
legs are good.
His
You-
belly's fine.
He
He's showing
looks
off
great.
the legs.
He's not fat.
No,
He's
but
not.
he's showing off his belly the way he's showing off his
Look
legs.
at this side shot. When he makes
The
the turn
shirt's a little
here,
tight.
He
The
looks
shirt's a little
great
tight.
from
This
the
is
side.
absurd. That guy looks great.
Got to one up on size. Get a longer shirt too.
Yeah. No, he's. They're just not making the shirts the same way. Exactly right. He's perfect in every way.
Show that side shot. His ass is not going to quit.
Let me see this.
There you
And
go.
freeze.
See.
I
didn't know
think
that.
Danny.
His ass is not going to quit.
That's
Hate to see
Was
him
the
go, but love to
comment-
watch him leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
Watch. Yeah.
Look at this
Yeah.
side shot.
Not
yeah.
quitting.
Take a
This
step.
is
take,
fat.
Take a step. One more
Look-
step.
That's fat.
That guy looks great.
I hate everyone.
That guy looks great. He looks fantastic.
Could do some calf work if we're going to be honest.
It's just harder to get rid of that.
That is the one thing
I
you can
love
criticize.
beer. It's harder to get rid of that. Like it
He
just,
loves beer.
He
does.
loves beer. We're just a bunch of dads that have kids that try our best.
He's 28.
Do I have better calves than him? That's wild.
Let me see your calves. Boog Shambi has better calves than him. I'm still waiting for him to get back to my voice.
He has the second best calves in the history of calves, Boog Shambi. He does.
Who's first?
Me.
You do have good calves.
Thank you.
Man, you don't have boot calves.
You don't have to
They're
slap
cut.
that meat.
No, his are bigger. Mine are cut.
Pablo Torre claims that we can have a calf off if you want to.
Oh.
It's just concrete. Do you build up your calves by just wearing flip-flops to dead shows?
Yes.
That's how you condition them?
Yep.
That's how you do it. Because it's
my
not calf
exercise.
raises or anything like that. It's that you wear the worst possible footwear
Yes.
to these jam shows.
Correct. You nailed it. If Mahomes gained 30 pounds, would he still be the best quarterback in the NFL? How about 40 pounds, 50 pounds?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm thinking if he gains more weight,
Making him Jared
50
Lorenzen?
pounds?
it would
Jared
give other
Lorenzen.
teams a
Rest in peace,
chance.
by the way.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well,
Yeah.
Stugatz is mentioning this, and I saw that DJ Burns Chams reported that he lost 45 pounds in 6.5 weeks, which doesn't seem
No
possible.
Ozempic either.
Without Ozempic.
Wow.
That doesn't seem possible.
It's called hard work, Dano. You get in the gym, you get on the Stairmaster, you bust your ass, you make it happen, you eat right, you drop 45 pounds in 6 weeks, bam!
And you get the generic form of Ozempic, so you can actually give that quote.
Let's get some Zins instead.
I don't like
Ozempic.
Lamar Jackson dropping so much weight. 10 pounds is I don't know.
Too much.
You want to bulk up.
Yeah.
I'm right
His
there.
style of play, he might get tossed around. You don't want
I'm
that.
right there with the Duke. I didn't think that Lamar would have this long a career because he's turned his body into someone that you don't want to tackle. Like, he delivers punishing hits. He's got this immense neck, as Tony
10
just said.
pounds just from the neck.
Yeah, so him losing weight, like, it's not like he's not outrunning guys. He doesn't need to be quicker. I don't think this is a good thing. I don't
Man,
like it.
Stay
Duke.
just the way you are. You're perfect, Lamar. I don't know who's telling you otherwise.
Well, people that watch the playoffs.
There's a lot of guessing when it comes to what weight these guys should be, because I felt like Tua gained weight strictly and exclusively because we were talking so much about his brain and being ragdolled that he's like, I'm not going to get ragdolled anymore.
I mean, that quack was talking about it. No one else was.
He gained the weight for that reason. They
Right.
made him gain weight. He didn't want to gain weight. He said he didn't like being that weight, but he needed more cushioning on the falls because he was getting thrown around like someone who was much smaller than the people throwing him. And now they're like, never mind. We got one good season of not any brain stuff. Go ahead and lose the weight again. You don't need it anymore. I wanted to ask you guys, though, something based on what it is that Xander Schauffele was telling us, where initially he didn't believe the Scheffler report. And I struggled with something that happened over last night where I couldn't tell whether something was real or not because 50 Cent spends so much time trolling everybody. The fact that it was trending that 50 Cent has a documentary that is a bidding war over Diddy Do It. Diddy Do It is a documentary by 50 Cent. I didn't think that was real. I thought that 50 Cent was actually just trying to bring attention to himself, to Diddy, getting in the middle of things the way that he does. But there is going to be a Netflix documentary that 50 Cent is producing.
It's crazy how these documentaries just kind of sprout up. It's almost as if these places are always like working on these things, ready to hit the ground in case someone hits the news cycle. Also,
They're at the ready, is what you're saying?
Jamel, in her appearance, said what a lot of people were saying is like, who are you apologizing to? The apology needs to be to Cassie. And there are some people out there reporting that, and there might be something to this because Cassie hasn't specifically said Sean Combs' name either, that a part of the terms of their settlement is that neither of them can mention the other by name.
That's what I assumed when everyone leapt on that was cautious for legal reasons.
Yeah, it's also kind of BS. Last I checked, this was yesterday, that still like pinned to his social profiles is his repeated denial, and everyone's out to get him. And don't think that we've forgotten that video of you dancing after the settlement got announced. Like, everyone knows that you're sorry because you got caught.
Very few rap beefs, though, end the way this 50 Cent mogul beef can end, where you're like, gotcha, I'm going to make money off of shaming you. I'm going to make money off of uncovering the garbage. Very few. I know we're spending a lot of time too much time talking about Kendrick and Drake, but for 50-year-olds, rap beefs like this, where you get to expose all of the awful that people want to see about, like, wait a minute, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
And
if this is what you were doing in front of hotel cameras, how much is there that we don't know?
Right. Well, Perez Hilton reported that the video actually didn't come from the hotel itself. There's people wondering aloud, did this come from the FBI raid? And then CNN got their hands on it. I mean, you ask yourself all sorts of questions. What kind of person would keep this video? What else do they find in this person's home? In terms of a rebuttal, Diddy's got none. Got none.
50's always been playing the long game with everybody, though, too, right? Like, that's his move. It's like the Floyd Mayweather thing. Like, all the beefs and all the things that he's done, he's always been saying, like, you know what? I'm good now. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, let's see where we're going to be. And now all of a sudden he's selling a massive Diddy Do It documentary that could maybe change the way we've already changed the way we've seen Diddy, but even more so now.
Paul Pierce next.
That's right. It's time for Against the Spread. And it is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear all about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Tony, kick us off.
We've got a massive Western Conference Finals matchup tonight. Dallas against Minnesota. The Wolves are -4.5 at home. I'm taking the Wolves. You guys know I'm a Wolves guy. Got a lot of tickets out there on the Wolves. Love this Wolves team. Love Anthony Edwards and the boys. I'm going to take a -4.5.
Mike Ryan.
I'm taking the Mavericks +4.5, going head-to-head against Tony because while we have difficulty trying to decide which duo we like more on either team, I think that Kyrie and Luka have a crazy unique set of skills to go up against this type of defense. I actually like the Mavericks in this series and to lift Larry. I think they take one of these 2 games, so I'm betting they take game 1.
Whoa, to lift Larry.
Wow. I'm taking them to lift
Larry.
Larry. Yeah, I'm that big a Luka fan.
Wow. But he's been hurt. He's not quite himself.
The great ones tell their body not today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, do you have something for us against the spread?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers -1.5 against the Rangers tonight. I know what you guys are thinking. 2 goals on the road against the Biden Cup winners.
I wasn't thinking that.
Don't count out Evan Rodriguez and them boys. The Panthers are bringing it tonight.
This guy knows puck.
Go Ice Cats.
Erod.
Erod did have his best series. Like, he was great in that last series.
Yeah, while everyone was talking about Sam Bennett punching Marchand in the face, no one seems to talk about in open play Rodriguez getting punched repeatedly in the back of the head during play. That
No
just
one's
wasn't
talking about it.
and wasn't mentioned.
Nick Cousins.
You have the Panthers winning by more than a goal on the road just because? Like, it doesn't seem like your reasoning is all that sharp here.
Erod.
Because anything can happen, Dan. It's not a ball, it's a puck.
Yep.
Puck can bounce anyway. And I know last time I said I came out here and I told you, watch out for the Hurricanes, -1.5. And you said, how can the Hurricanes win against the Biden Cup team? And they didn't, but, that's because they give up 5 goals or something in the third period, something catastrophic. I don't see that happening today. So take the Ice Cats, -1.5.
We are in a contract year.
Against the spread. We haven't been doing that.
Yeah.
What's happening? Guys, stick to the bit. What are we doing?
Against
The spread. No one's saying it. Where's the music?
Music stopped.
Come on.
Segment's over.
Guys, how are we going to get re-signed if the
I need
music
my
stops?
You're not on my tempo.
What's happening
You're not
here?
on my tempo.
I promised people Paul Pierce here, and all
PP.
I've got is a bald guy staring at me up the side of his face as he tries to fix all of Paul Pierce's technology.
Not smiling, so I don't think he can hear you.
Vladimir Tarasenko.
I'm bald. Hey, dude.
Hey, what's
Bald
up,
guy
bud?
with a beard and a flannel working in podcasting.
Mike Benning.
Where's
Weird ass Ruiz at?
All right, he's been called out again. Weird ass Ruiz. We'll see if he returns. Paul Pierce is eating something. Pierce, what are you eating? What is that breakfast you put together? You got a gnarled, dislocated
No,
finger
I
there?
got a sausage McMuffin from McDonald's.
Nice.
Okay, last time you came on, you were brushing your teeth. I feel like you're sort of actively trying to disrespect the television process around here. Oh, look. Okay, you
No, I
got
still got
There he
it.
is behind me. Jesus.
Okay,
Mid-bite,
very good.
Dan.
All right, so
I can't be on TV with the stuff in my teeth.
Paul, why do you go McMuffin and not McGriddle? The one that's like a pancake with the syrup inside.
That's a good question.
We stumped you, huh?
what happened? You don't. You got to do better here. He's offered you an option
Hey.
you didn't know was available.
I'm a 70s baby. We grew up on these. Those wasn't available.
Okay, so it's a bit of nostalgia. It's some childhood for you. You taste your
Yeah,
childhood there.
Like I hardly eat it, but it's like a quick fix, pretty much.
All right, we will
All
find.
right, what's up, gang?
All right, we'll find.
I'm
weird,
up.
All right, Weird Ass Ruiz is somewhere around here.
Weird Ass Ruiz around here.
I think he's boycotting you and everything about the Celtics. You pulled one out of your ass last night. Jaylen Brown
Man,
never made that shot before in his life.
man, we can't play like that if we get to the finals versus these teams in the West. Seriously, I thought the game was over. I was like, pretty much any good team, we lose that game. I mean, not that Indiana's not a good team, but you know what I'm saying. Like Denver or Minnesota or Dallas, one of them teams is not giving that game away. So hopefully that was a wake-up call. You know, we've had quite a few wake-up calls in the playoffs, especially at home. But in this case, we had a wake-up call to where we won the game. So hopefully, you know, they'll play better, you know, moving forward.
There's been quite the debate today, Paul, about whether or not Jason Tatum had a good game or a bad game last night. So I will ask you, did he have a good game or a bad game last night?
I mean, I just look at it as defensively, nobody played well. Yeah, when you look at the numbers, you wake up and you see the 30-plus points, and for the most part, he played well. You know, he made some big buckets. You know, obviously that and one down the stretch, what was that, in overtime, that kind of sealed it. You know, he did what he had to do to help the team win, but he knows he could play better. And that's the scary part. When you look at it and you see the numbers that he put up and you say he could play better, you know, that's just the standard that, you know, I think we all hold him to.
But what do you make of the fact that for long stretches he's absent? What do you do?
Well, no, you know what? I think they settle for too many threes. And I think, you know, Jason sometimes, you know, they get complacent with the three ball and they got to just, you know, sometimes get to the free throw line or attack the rim with some aggression from the post or from the perimeter. But I think that has a lot to do with the point guard. That has a lot to do with, you know, the guys out there, the coach. Like, at some point, you know, when I played, if I didn't touch the ball for like, and I go invisible for, I'll be like, hold on, you know, we got to bring it this way in the timeout, or rush Rajon. I'll be like, man, come on, you know, I'm our scorer. So, you know, bring it this way. You got to keep me going. So, you know, a lot of that is a combination of him and the team and who's out on the court with him.
Would you trade right now, before Game 2, Jason Tatum for Anthony Edwards? Straight up.
No. I think right now that Tatum is the more mature player, but Edwards, he's on his way. You know, this is his first great playoff run. Hey man, who is that?
Who are you looking at?
That's Ruiz.
Who are you looking at? I don't know. Are you looking at Ruiz?
Oh, you see
Hey, man, look me in my eyes when you're on TV, dude. Don't be looking away.
Well, wait a minute. He's in another room. Ruiz, now, weird-ass Ruiz,
look
come in.
me in my face.
All right.
Get in here, Mike.
Come on, Mike. You're being summoned. You didn't want to be a part of it. You were boycotting it, but he wants you to look him in his face when you talk
Look me
to him.
in my face when you come on camera and address me.
Well, he's outside of the room. He wasn't addressing you. I think he was cleaning his ears, but now he's coming in because you requested him. So he is defiantly and angrily coming in here, and he's got Q-tips in every ear for reasons I don't totally understand. Look, Paul,
show up to work on time. Show up to work on time.
Well, Paul, that's rich coming from you. I've been waiting around for 40 minutes.
Show up, please.
what is your problem with Ruiz?
I just don't like his I don't like his beard.
Huh.
I just
doing
don't.
the beard thing again? I don't like your face.
Yeah, he tries to emulate.
I don't like your lack of success in the postseason. I don't like the fact that you wore green and then you went to wear white. But there's one constant.
I'm a Kendrick Lamar him. I don't like his lineup. I don't like his beard. I don't like his clothes. I don't like the girls he talked to.
You remember that ratty ass thing you were playing with? I remember your beard. At least this guy can grow a full one. Come on.
I'm gonna just Kendrick Lamar you. I just don't like
that beard. Not like us. Your beard. Not like us. Oh, real. Speaking of real, those chompers are looking nice. I don't know who you got for that, but hit me on the side, DM me the rec, because that is, I'd be brushing them nonstop too if I got those chompers. Is there a porcelain shortage? What's going on now? I'm back to boycotting. I'm going to disappear like Jason Tatum for 13 minutes.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
What happened to that Jalen Brunson jersey that you were stomping on? Why did you do that? Where did you get a Brunson jersey? I didn't know you had any problems with Jalen Brunson or the Knicks.
I don't have no problem with Jalen Brunson. I had to tell people this wasn't about Jalen Brunson. I had to get a New York Knicks jersey because I lost a bet because I didn't think the Knicks would get out the first round. And I said I would wear a Knicks jersey on the podcast if they win versus Philly. So they won, so I got the jersey. I didn't even care whose jersey it was. I mean, who cares? Just for the simple fact I'm wearing a New York Knicks jersey, it's just hurtful anyway. So I wore it, and then when they lost, I'm like, I don't need this no more. So, we jumped them. You know, it didn't matter who it was. You could have sent me a DiVincenzo jersey or whoever. OG Anunoby. This had nothing to do with it. This wasn't no. This was just
you had the burner jersey. That's it. That's what
I had to take down a Knick jersey. That's it.
Okay.
I feel like you chose the two hardest names for you to pronounce on the Knicks.
That's all they have outside of Brunson.
I know. There weren't a lot of guys that were healthy for them. Let me play some sound for you here of Kevin Garnett on with Stephen A. Smith. I want to get your thoughts here on whether these mixed allegiances are okay by you if Boston does get to face Minnesota in the finals.
If Boston ends up facing the Timberwolves for the championship, what's that going to be like for you, KJ?
And that's a win-win for me. I win both ways. You understand? I win. If Boston and Minnesota makes it to the finals,
he got the jersey.
I know I've won. Period. And I'm the chairman of the boards of the 50-50 club. Nobody else can do this but me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm also a client.
Oh man, come on. Now you know what it is? He must have got in good with ownership now. With Minnesota, because he was off them for a while, so that's why he trying to play both sides. KG think he's slick, you know. He think he's slick, you know. That's all good, but he got alliance with both of them. He spent his whole childhood in Minnesota, and then came to Boston and obviously won a championship. So I'm not even mad at him on that one.
But he is slick because that smile at the end, and his teeth are almost as nice as yours there with that smile. But KG is also crazy, right? Like you have all the stories of KG is his intensity.
Yeah, that smile look weird, huh?
Well, his intensity is just nuts. It's just, I don't know what it's like. Explain to us what it's like to be friends with him. It must be relentless.
Oh, you always got to have your bulletproof vest on. He'll come. Hey, look, if he smells signs of weakness, he got you. No, that's just him, man. He don't got no off button. Y'all know that. I mean, it looked like he was getting ready for Game 7 in that interview with Stephen A. It was like, damn. He was like, oh, I got both teams ready, Lord, and I'll be ready. It's like every time he talk, he go into a lather. I'm like, damn, dog, chill out. We just chilling in the backyard watching the game.
It's a great KG.
It is.
You have to have a Lord in there.
He'd be like, Lord, Lord, I got both teams.
The Truth Lounge with Paul Pierce is every Friday on the DraftKings Network.
What is this cowboy doing, man?
All right.
Looking like the character from Toy Story.
He's doing mouthwash, it looks like. Do you want him again? God. You want to talk again to Weird Ass Ruiz? Again, you want to
keep weirdo over there, man. I don't know what he's doing right. He's going through a midlife crisis.
I want to ask you about J.J. Redick. He is saying on television last night, you got to foul when you're up by 3. LeBron was tweeting video of the podcast in real time saying the same thing. And now Shams is reporting that the Lakers think that J.J. Redick has, quote, Pat Riley-like potential. J.J. Redick is the coach of the Lakers. Puppet or pal?
I don't know. You know what? Be honestly, JJ does have great basketball insight, and I do enjoy listening to him. So, I don't know how that translates, but we've seen Steve Kerr do it. We've seen Doc Rivers do it. So maybe he got a shot. You know what I'm saying? But to go to a team with demanding personalities such as LeBron, I mean, I know he has a good friendship with him. And AD, that's a difficult spotlight to be in for your first head coaching job. But maybe he does have Pat Riley like. I mean, of course, you can kind of think you can emulate that, but you got to understand Pat Riley is one of the greatest to ever do it. So if you think you can bring JJ along for the ride, but the window with LeBron is short, so if they don't get it done, he'll be on the hot seat. So that's a hot seat job right there. So I don't know. I don't know how to call that one.
But if the window is indeed short, what do you make? Because last time you were on with us, or 2 times ago, you mentioned that you were as awed by LeBron James still doing this as the oldest player in the league as the rest of us were.
Yeah, for sure.
But what do you make of the power to hire your own coach, to get your son drafted higher than he would otherwise be drafted? What do you make of the value and power at this age?
Well, I mean, you got to understand what LeBron has brought to the game, man. He's one of the most influential players of this generation, if not the most influential when it comes to like on court, off the court, situations. He's changed the landscape on free agency, on contracts, on how you move to different teams, and his friends getting into the general agent game, and just he's it's just what it is. I mean, he's shown how to manipulate the system, as we should say it, but rightfully so. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. So he should have some input when big decisions are being made for a franchise that he's won a championship for, and possibly going to get his number retired at.
Paul, would you draft Bronny number 1 overall to get 2 years of LeBron James if you felt like you were LeBron James away from winning a title?
And it's a bad draft.
Like a team like the Knicks, okay?
Nah, I'll be realistic about it. I wouldn't draft him number 1 overall because, it's probably some guys in the draft that probably have a better upside. We talking about a 6'1" guard with athleticism we haven't seen a number 1 pick like that since Allen Iverson, but we all know who Allen Iverson was. I think you could get him in late first round, second round, or even in free agency. I don't think it has to be that dramatic to where you pick him up as the first pick just to try to see if you can get LeBron.
What happened to your finger?
I dropped a plate on it, man. I was doing a plank, straight arm plank with the 45-pound plate on my back, and I was walking, on my hands, sliding my feet with the circle sliders. And then as you step this way, my back turned and the plate slid off and smashed my finger.
Man.
Yeah, it came completely off.
Hate when that happens.
That's a fired trainer.
You hate when that happens.
Yeah,
huh?
you got to fire your trainer. Like, what is that? Your trainer can't let that happen.
Yeah, I was pissed at the trainer because he was standing right there holding the plate up, and then I felt it sliding, and he's just standing there. Oh yeah. Man, I'm changing trainers, man. He fainted too when he saw it, so I'm done with him.
Did he really?
You just fired him?
Yeah.
He fainted and you just fired him, but he actually fainted because he realized his job was over.
No, he fainted because the weight came down, smashed the finger. The finger looked like it came off and blood went everywhere, and he just fainted.
Is he okay?
And I just looked at it. I got up, put some towels on it, and drove myself to the hospital and got surgery.
Paul, that's a disaster. Like that,
He should be fired.
What you just described is a real disaster. By how long?
See, I got a pin in it.
He's got a pin in it, keeping it together.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
How long have you had this trainer?
Just since last summer, man. But he's done. He's done.
That seems like a soft core issue more for you. Truth that you were going through and you were a little weak on one side and it slid down.
It wasn't weak. I was, sometimes it's hard to like keep the balance on the back with a 45 plate. So what is this dude doing over here? Man, this dude got some issues over here. Ruez, get in Wake here. up.
Weird ass Ruez, get in here again.
Ruiz, is it Ruez or Ruiz?
It's Ruiz.
Ruiz.
Whatever you want it to be. Yeah.
Ruiz. It is Hispanic. Get in here, Ruiz.
Ruiz.
He wants to know what you're doing. You seem to be handling a whole bunch of disrespectful hygiene stuff while we're interviewing
Hey,
Paul
get in the
Pierce.
room while I'm talking, Ruiz.
Okay, he wants to talk to your face again because you've been grooming yourself the entirety of this interview.
This is not time off when I come on the show. Get your ass in the room and sit down.
Wow. Now
I'm talking.
Well, now wait a minute.
I'm talking.
Okay.
Who are you talking to like that? Not Rasho Nastarovich.
Hey, I'm talking. So get on the set.
Okay, he has demanded. Yeah, you got to be careful with that outfit, Paul. You're not his boss. I am, and he's only coming in here because you're summoning him. And we have
he
to
has
do
to go
the
to
segment.
work. Does he or does he not have to be at work today?
You want me to continue working you like I did just 5 minutes ago? I see those shiny, beautiful pearly whites.
You can't get him, bro. You can't get him.
No,
I'm not telling you my doctor.
I'm sorry about your finger, by the way. I heard you kind of dance around the Jason Tatum stuff, and it's game one, and it's the
They
Indiana
won,
Pacers.
dog. Listen, why? You know what's so crazy? Why we don't get the same criticism to these other stars when they don't when they do the same exact thing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
No,
that you
I ain't
mentioned that.
like when Luka didn't play well one game, nobody said nothing.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that. And that is actually at the heart of like all of my Jason Tatum criticisms, because I actually think, and it's funny because you have your perspective on it being a Boston guy, but I actually think that Jason Tatum's been handled with kid gloves. I actually think that if
about nobody talked about he led the team in points, rebound, assists, and steals in the first round. I never heard that come up.
No, he's a great player, and I think. Look, I'm not saying
they've only lost 2, and their record is 9-2 in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, they
Easy
have
teams,
dude. They've been playing on a flat track, and you know this, but it's okay. Like my whole thing with Jason Tatum,
36 points and 12 rebounds.
Cool, and a 13.5-minute stretch in which he was totally invisible.
He didn't go for 50, guys. He didn't go for 50.
Well,
I'm like, Jesus, what does the guy have to do?
He just wasn't the guy during crunch time, and you guys almost lost that game if it were not for Rick Carlisle forgetting how to coach.
Because
10
points in overtime.
I understand that he ate from the line with 90 seconds left in the game.
Did they win?
Well, if that's what we're doing, yeah, they won against a 6-seed Indiana Pacers. All I want is for Jason Tatum to be treated like the other stars. I mean, you know how the immense pressure that you guys had to deal with when you made all those moves. You know the pressure that the Miami Heat had to deal with that came with building a roster like that. Jason Tatum is always this far deep, and it's quantifiable. Tom Haberstroh has done great pieces on that. This player does seem to go missing occasionally, or his metrics dip. Now, that you could say that for a lot of players. The game gets tighter, defense gets better, shooting splits go down, but his go way down in bizarre ways. And there was a 13-minute stretch there last night when the game is on the line where he's deferring to other guys on the team. So I'm not saying he's incapable of doing this, and I know he's got like a 50-point Game 7 in his archive not too long ago. I want to see it. I want to see the game's greats ascend to greatness when big-time moments present themselves. He's done it a couple of times. I want to see him do it in this round, and then I'm going to do the sports radio thing of saying, I want to see it in the finals.
You did it, Paul. You did it.
25, 33, 33, 25, 36.
Has there ever been a stretch?
That's the last 5 games.
Paul, has there ever been a stretch in your career, because you're a guy that's reputed to be a bucket getter, a dog, a guy that thrives for those moments. I didn't call bank, I call game. So has there ever been a moment with a game on the line in a playoff game where you go scoreless for 13 and a half minutes? Moreover, you barely touch the ball. As soon as you get the ball, you hand it off to Derek White.
I got to take this call. Hey, hello? Yeah, man, I'm talking to weird-ass Ruiz right now, man. I'm going to hit you back in a little bit. You going to be there? All right, yeah. He over here talking some phone about Jason Tatum. Let me holler back. All right, man, bye.
We could see you didn't answer. The phone was
off.
Yeah.
I
tried to sell
it. The phone was off.
You could have tapped Paul. I mean.
The phone was off. So maybe there has been, but I don't know. Maybe there has been in your career, but I just find it very, very bizarre that he goes missing for 13 and a half minutes straight. But as you were, I'm just grooming myself. I don't find that at all weird when people do hits.
All right, see you later. He's an NBA champion. There's the evidence right there, Paul Pierce, that you're a terrible actor.
The phone.
Your phone.
See the answer the phone thing.
He's an NBA champion. He's a Hall of Famer. He's been stirring up shit for years. Check out new episodes of The Truth Lounge with Paul Pierce every Friday on the DraftKings Network and All the Smoke Productions on YouTube. There it is. We have exposed it with our investigative team. That is not a phone
Phonier than those teeth.
See you later, Paul. Good.
All right, y'all. Man. Good talking to y'all always.
See you, Paul.
See you later.
They got me.
Yeah, gotcha journalism. We got him with the journalism. Excellent work. They got me. Mike, I don't think I have ever seen disrespect administered in the way that is just Q-tips and cleaning your elbows and doing what lotion,
moisturizing.
Like what the hell?
And Paul seems to like it.
Yeah, he seems to like
I
in the
take
back
my
and
hints
forth.
from others. Apparently, he's normalized grooming yourself during interviews, so I just took it to the next level. Got one up him.
Hey, he had the Q-tip. He had y'all funny as hell.
I'll never speak to you again. I hate you, Paul Pierce. I hate you.
Guys, I did my taxes recently.
God, I hate doing that.
I hope you asked for an extension.
I had to
did.
do
No,
it
no,
for
I
I had to
did.
do it for the first time with business taxes for my dad's podcast. Man, that's annoying.
Yeah, business taxes, personal taxes, all that. I always file an extension because you always need time to make sure
Just in
that
case.
your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted and whatnots. But I had this happen where I feel the need to dress up for my accountant in a way that I don't dress up at work.
Oh, you show up in person?
I show up in person, yeah, because we got a lot of things
Congrats.
to discuss.
Mine's all over email.
Yeah,
Really? No,
I do it all over email.
I'm an in-person guy. Me and my boy Tony, two Tonys cutting it up. I go to his office. We have some cafecito. We talk. I'm usually there probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We go through everything. We make sure everything's up and up.
Wait,
and
so
then I
you're
go out and
telling?
make it happen.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me if you come to work dressed casually and you have that appointment after, you'll go home and get changed?
Yeah, I changed. I put pants on, like not pants like slacks, but like I'll put jeans or pants because I'm usually wearing shorts.
I was about to throw stones at you, but I just realized that I've done that before for picking up my daughter from school.
So
I
you'll
don't-
dress up for picking
Not
up your
dress
daughter?
up, but just I don't like basketball shorts.
Yeah, I
and,
can't
like,
have these
sandals.
slides.
Right.
I did that for the first time because my wife asked me in a pinch, "Can you pick our daughter up from school?" And I was not prepared for that.
You're
I
like,
just,
"Yeah, I'll
I
do
just
it."
finished the Peloton. 40 minutes of pure German adrenaline.
Attaboy.
Because I just like the way that they scream at me.
Now, what are we fearful thereof? Do we think that other?
I'm fully
do we think other?
nude.
No, I was more talking to Mike there, like with
Oh.
the at the school. Like, do we think that people think we don't have a job? Like even though we know we have a job, but like I don't want you to think that I'm not doing anything every day.
Apologies for how this sounds. Is Miami vernacular bummy, and a lot of people show up to school kind of bummy, and like that's a Miami aesthetic to itself. Yeah. But yeah, what I'm doing there is like I've been recognized there a couple of times.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of dads that pick, and like I don't know.
The assistant principal got me at my daughter's school.
Yeah, like they all have Google. They all find out anybody has anything of note.
People talk.
And they do deep dives and social media investigations. So like I tried to not go there looking my worst. 40 minutes, mismatched clothing, wearing slides because I just finished a 40-minute Peloton ride in German.
Yeah.
But your accountant's your boy.
Yeah, the
Like,
thing
what are we
is,
worried
I'm,
about
I'm
there?
financially nude in front of my accountant, so he knows what I make. He knows what I do.
Financially nude.
Yeah, so it's not like I can show up and be like, "Oh wow, this guy's in a suit and tie or he's dressed nice." Like I know what you make, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
Well, it's a little different when they know you because my dad always told me, like, whenever I went to Nordstrom to get nice clothes, he's like, show up in nice clothes because they treat you a different way.
They treat you better, right?
Yeah, you're not some rook.
Right.
And also, like, if you're trying on a suit, it's better if you have the undershirt already ready to go. But he's like, you dress to Nordstrom for the look that you're aspiring to, and they take you more seriously.
Exactly right.
So is it the same way with an accountant?
I don't wear it yet, at least for me, just because I want to make sure that I'm looking not in basketball shorts and a t-shirt when he walks in, because he knows my dad. He does my dad's taxes too. So it's like the generation of I do his dad's taxes. He shows up in like business attire.
Are you also sending a message like you're not going to get one over on me, pal? I wore slacks.
not slacks, jeans,
But you know what I mean.
pants. Yeah, like he's gonna take care of me. I know that because there's you got a couple things in the mix.
Well,
you
you're a
gotta
big
make sure-
account. You're a big account.
I got to make sure that all my
You
things
got to
are
protect the big account.
The times that I've
ducks in a row.
The times that I've felt financially nude, I've never used that phrase before, is like when anytime you're at the bank and you're making a deposit, like you ever like the checking account. The checking account fluctuates. Like I have some stuff in savings, but the checking account, if bills came out, it can look a little low sometimes.
Yeah,
and I always feel really insecure of like there's usually more money in
I
there.
do.
See my savings? They're right next to it.
I'm
To the right.
with a bank that just introduced a new feature on a website which says your net worth, and it goes up there. I'm like, that's what you think.
That's what I'm letting
okay.
That's what I'm letting the
right.
government in on.
Yeah. No, if you think that's my number, okay.
You know what? I actually
cool.
like that you think that.
Yeah.
Because I know I got a couple things.
Your boy can liquidate like this.
I stumbled into a find out your net worth website before where it's like just write in how much you have in your savings. What do you own? Houses, car, and I found out I was like, wow, that's my net worth.
Better or worse than what you thought?
It's not though.
I got my house is kind of expensive, so it
Yeah,
was actually a little better. Like,
yeah.
I own my house.
Yeah,
so.
but I'm looking at that number. I'm like, you're not even considering the amount that this piece of real estate is increasing in the
Yeah,
market.
that's true.
You have no idea what's on my wrist right now, guy.
That's right. Attaboy. So yeah, I go and make sure that that's the one appointment in my life. The doctor, I can go in shorts and a t-shirt. I don't care. Like other things, I can go in shorts and a t-shirt. But when I show up at my accountant, I'm like, look, I'm here to do business. Me and you are going to make things happen. I know you're going to make sure that my taxes are up and up. That way I can get a little
Well, you're wearing a
kickback
collared
from
shirt,
Uncle
so
Joe.
you're good.
Yeah. I should wear a collared shirt every time I fire up
I didn't
this
wear a
banking
collared
website
shirt.
and they try to tell me what I'm worth. Number one, you don't assign my value. You're not in charge of this.
Attaboy.